Welcome to the new and improved 2026 Cool Wall. As you can see, we've got a bigger one and we have a lot more cars than last time to rate. But before we get into that, I'm Thomas, I'm the kitchen, and this is the fun. Now I did say that we have improved the Cool Wall by getting a bigger Cool Wall. However, we've also moved some cars around. I think the McLaren W1 has moved up from last time because Top Gear released a new video and I quite like it now. Also, the Nissan Micra had to go down. It had to go down. I can't stand it anymore. But we do have a lot more normal cars to rate this time. So I'm suspecting that this part of the Cool Wall will not be, I don't think, even touched today. Though I may be wrong. Anyhow, let's start with our first car. The Audi A6 Allroad. Now, this is an Audi, and it's a new one. Well, otherwise it wouldn't really be on the Cool Wall. But basically, I'm not liking Audi's new design language. The new design language that, thin headlights, larger grills. I don't like it. However, this is a bit of a mold breaker. See, they've somehow managed to get the big lights back in. As well, it's an Allroad, and we all know, we love the A6 Allroad. Everyone loves the A6 Allroad, even if they don't know what it is. So, is this a cool car? The answer is not, no, it's not, because it's a new Audi and it's new and everything new is bad. No, I don't agree with you. This is cool. Argue with the wall. There you go. I'm also using tape to hold the camera up, so let's see how long that lasts. Slap bang in the cool part of the wall. Moving on to a car that I definitely think will not be in cool. It is the BMW iX3. Now, they said they'd make the Kindy grille smaller. I gotta say, they have delivered. However, they've somehow managed to make it even more ugly. Like, how is that possible? I just don't get it. Surely making the grille smaller will be better, but no. Oh no. I personally didn't mind the original iX3's design because it felt quite understated and basically invisible. It was basically just an electric X3. This is part of their new Neue Klasse design language. Gotta say, the Germans with their design languages. Lock in, my days. But the point is it's new-ish. It's just like retro, when they brought in the new Neue Klasse in the 70s, I'm pretty sure, but worse. And it's packed full of useless tech, a big, massive television in the middle. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. However, it's not seriously uncool yet. I have yet to see one in real life, but I'd say it's there. And I feel like it shall stay there for quite some time until I see a new one. But there we go. The first car on the uncool part of the Cool Wall version 2. Right, onto a car that no one was expecting would go into production. People were thinking, it's going to be a crossover, it's going to be rubbish. However, it is the Honda Prelude. I'd say it's really up to what your taste in cars is. I personally don't mind this. However, I didn't grow up with the Prelude. And people are telling me that it was never supposed to be a sports car. However, if you're just taking this as a car, I'd say Honda have done a pretty good effort at making a sports car in this very difficult modern day. Obviously, Mazda still managing to cope with the MX-5. No idea how that's possible, but you know, it doesn't matter. The MX-5 is in a completely different area of sports cars than this. This is a much higher sports car, sort of more expensive, more powerful sort of thing. It has a CVT, so no manual, but I think it has imaginary clutch thingies, so you know, more fun, I guess. I don't mind it, but I think I'll put it in cool until someone goes and says the old Prelude was cool. And I have to agree with them. However, I don't think that this will be too bad. It's actually been out for a while. Anyhow, hang a minute. There's the Honda Prelude everyone was talking about. Should have been that, but you know, it's difficult. It's cool though. Right, onto a car that is very interesting indeed. And the facelift was somehow worse than the original version. Hyundai Ioniq 6N. Now, I actually liked, may I say, the original i6. i6? No, Ioniq 6. Well, BMW should make an i6 though. However, I don't like this because it has an LED bar for a headlight. I just don't think it looks better. They haven't made it better, and they haven't made it worse. I mean, they kind of have made it worse in my opinion, but you know. Anyhow, Ioniq 6N, Hyundai is trying their best, I think. Although they should have actually brought out that sort of like Hyundai N van. Like that was cool. That was just like a random project. It's like they never bring us the prototypes, the cool ones, and they bring us the ones that'll actually like work. They think they'll work, but then what we really want is something else. Time for a car that has split the world into two, with the car company on one side and the rest of the public on the other. It is, of course, the one and only Ferrari Luce. Now, there's nothing much to say about this. Everyone's already had a rant about it. I'm not going to rant about it. I know everyone wants it to go over there. But, you know what? I agree with you. Maybe, in 15 years' time, the Ferrari Luce might look slightly better in the eyes of the public than it does now. However, for now, it's going there. Yeah. Right, from one new BMW to another new BMW. This one with slightly more interesting headlights, mainly because they're crosses. Meet the BMW iX5, or the X5. I'm not sure which one it is, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same one anyway, so they're just going to put an engine or an electric motor in it. So, this is the same car, except somehow it's managed to be better because the grills are squarer rather than weird octagony ovals that the iX3 has. However, it's slightly better. However, it's never going to be cool. I actually don't mind it because it kind of looks interesting and different. This just looks a bit bland. This has seems to have wider arches and vents and stuff. You know, it's got stuff. So I think it goes here, more towards the cool side of things, but it's not really going to get there yet. Right, on to another SUV, a big German SUV, not BMW though. It is the Audi Q7. Now, it's big, it's German, it's new, It's ugly, and it looks extremely like a BMW X7 or i7. I mean, extreme, like almost to detail. It has the same small lights, same sort of profile, same size, probably same tech as well inside. And from the back, it looks even more similar. It's really not that much different, and I don't see why you would want anything different. I'm not sure why would you want a big SUV like that in the first place? Like, where are you going with that? But I mean, it's not like it's that uncool. I think it'll just go in uncool, and we can move on something a lot more interesting. This is a car that I did not know about till very recently. It is the Pagani Codalunga Spider. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is a Pagani. That's immediately noticeable. You wouldn't think it's anything else. I think actually it's missing the Pagani badge on the front. I don't know why that's happened. But anyhow, this is the car. It looks very interesting. However, I really like the Zonda, and I actually really like the Huayra. However, this doesn't really give the same feel as it. It's just like a one-off, another special edition, another this, another that. You don't really get anything new, it feels. Like there's a Utopia, but that in itself feels absolutely insane, mind-blowing. Like feels even like a one-off. It just feels like even there's plenty of them, I know. For, obviously, super limited run hypercar manufacturers. But it's still obviously hypercar. It's incredible, but I feel like no one is really going to drive these, mainly because they're like very special, very limited run. I don't think it's like only been like 10 of these or something. You know, I like the wheels. That'd be cool. Put that on GTR 32. But yeah, I've just noticed now. It feels like these lights just look wrong. It feels like, you know, if you shave your eyebrows off, it looks a little bit like that. It looks just a little bit surprised and a bit odd, really. It's interesting. Gee, this photo looks like a resin model. Anyhow, so I don't think it's going to be up there. It's not going to be with the super stuff. Cool. Down there. Now, I said we wouldn't be having that much cool stuff, but there's still actually, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Still nothing in Sub-Zero, though. That has yet to be touched. However, this might sway the board towards the cooler side. Or it might not. Let me explain. This is the Audi Nuvolari. It looks very square and boxy, which is very cool. I do like that. I like that. I like Lotus Esprit and stuff. Lamborghini Countach. And yeah. However, the first thing you see, obviously, it is also based off the Audi TT concept sort of thing. So, you know, this is kind of the brainchild of this. It has this square grille, same, and stuff. This actually has a V8 hybrid, and that leads me on to my next point. See, basically, I think that this is just a rebodied and tuned up Lamborghini Temerario. I think, because I'm not sure what else has, or at least it has the Lamborghini Temerario V8. So, why would you buy this instead of the Lamborghini Temerario? Because obviously this is a super exclusive car. I'm not even sure if it's going on sale yet. I'm not sure. And I give it points for being wedgy. But it's really not going to cut it, is it? I just don't see what I see with the cars over here. So it's going in here. Yet another cool car for the cool wall. That is now our largest category. Alright, we obviously had to have some sort of Chinese car into the mix because otherwise it wouldn't be a sort of, well, actually, why the hell did I put Chinese car in here? Actually, for me, it's not a Chinese car. It doesn't feel like one. It is the MG ZF, ZG, something, ZG. Oh, what? Does it say on the number plate? I think it's the MG S9 PHEV, plug-in hybrid, for those who want an actual name. And it's a car. It's angular, it's very large, and it's Chinese. Well, it's built in China. But then I'm a bit of a... I like the old MG. I don't think they should have come back, but, you know, there you go. Apparently, the Chinese are bringing Itala back as well. Or is it the Chinese? Or Chinese-backed. That should have stayed dead. That's not coming back, and it's just going to be rebadged MGs, I'm sure. And that means we end on a little bit of a low. Because it makes me think, in the future, how many more Chinese cars are there going to be on this wall? How many more Chinese cars am I going to have to put into Serious Yet Uncool just because they're Chinese? And soulless cars, it makes me sad that these cars exist. Why can't we have more cars like we used to? Why can't car makers make better cars instead of providing us with measly pieces of scrap that we'll get rid of in 5 years' time and we will forget about? No one. It'll be extremely difficult to find a car like that in 15, 20 years' time because they'll all be in the scrapyard rotting away because made in China. Well, also this, also that, also that. That. Maybe even that. Everything is made, it feels like really low quality. People, they just stuff it with tech and hope that people will pay a premium price for it. So that's why I like supporting small manufacturers. Sure, they'll charge higher prices, but they make better cars. Donkervoort, Morgan, Gunther Works, BAC, even Rimac. They make better cars. They just do. So that will be all for now. That brings me to the end of this video. Bit of a sad turn. I'm not going to have a coffee. See you in the next one.